Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris, and on today's video, we're talking about the new fragrance by Chanel, Comète. So this fragrance was launched, I believe, like a week or two ago. So it's not been around that long. It was originally launched, not exclusively, but it was launched first in certain stores in Paris and parts of Europe. But now it's available worldwide, and let's get into it to see if it's really a good fragrance or not. So the perfumer for this fragrance is Olivier Polge, and the launch date for this fragrance is 2024. So it is a new fragrance. Before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe and like the video for more fragrance related content. I did do a giveaway for this fragrance here, which is Solo Atlas by Loewe, a really good summer fragrance. And I wanted to thank every single one of you for commenting and letting me know what your summer fragrance of choice is. So I have gone on to the website of, I think it's called pickerwinner.co, which is essentially a website that picks a random comment. And the winner for this fragrance is Blazing Gaming 4297. His comment reads, "My favorite summer fragrance is D&G Light Blue Eau Intense. It's salty and a fresh smell." So I have not played with Dolce & Gabbana in quite some time. Let me know if you want me to do something with Dolce & Gabbana here on the channel. Congratulations to the winner, and don't be discouraged. There will be more giveaways here in the future. Get into this fragrance. The box is exactly the same thing that you get with every other Les Exclusifs fragrance. So I decided to go for the 75 ml or 2.5 fluid ounce bottle. This one does not come with the nice packaging. So if you get the 200 ml size bottle, or 6.8 ounces if you're interested in what ounces they are, it does come with a nice embossing on the side here. This one itself does not. So just take that into consideration. If you want that special packaging by Chanel, that is something you have to upgrade and get the larger one for, as it doesn't come with this one here. So here are all the information at the bottom. The fragrance says where it's manufactured, which this one's made in France. You also get all the ingredients there, the batch code, all that good stuff. It says Comète Eau de Parfum concentration. You also get your ingredients list on it. So nothing super special, I think, everyone. If you've ever watched a Chanel video here, you know I'm not super impressed with the actual packaging. Just for comparison's sake, I have one of their competitors. Let's take a look to see how much better this box is. So the quality is nicer, the base is nicer, you get a nice little ribbon, there's an insert there. Let's look at the Chanel one. It's a hollow box, and what I mean by that is there's nothing in there. And then in the bottom, you do also get that little hole, so it holds your actual fragrance in it, but it is hollow as well. The Celine one is not. So it's Chanel. They get away with it. You know, we keep buying their stuff, and they're going to continue doing it as long as we continue to purchase their items. It's okay, I suppose, but what really matters here is what the fragrance smells. So there was a lot of fanfare, and this is what the bottle looks like, just so you can see. It is a champagne type of liquid. It was rumored that this was going to be a pinkish type of color. It obviously was not the case here. It looks like any other Les Exclusifs. It kind of looks like the color of Boy, if in my opinion, a little bit, maybe. Kind of not Coromandel, it's a little darker, but maybe Sycamore, Boy, somewhere in the middle there. So it's a light champagne-y type of color. And there were so many rumors about what notes were going to be in here, what it was supposed to smell like. And I watched a couple of YouTube videos, you know, before the fragrance was even launched, and they talked about that this fragrance was supposed to be launched a year ago, and that they kind of kept delaying it and postponing the launch date and changing the name because the name was up in the air. It was going to be called Moon, I think, Lunar, or something like that. And then they changed it to Comète. And Comète is significant because it's supposed to represent the comet necklace that Chanel designed in her jewelry collection of high jewelry. We'll show here a picture of it. I mean, very iconic. This is supposed to represent, from what the perfumer is saying, stardust, the dust of the comet, you know, flying into our atmosphere, which if we're thinking of that, is this going to smell like smoke and combusting or some kind of gassy smoke? It's not quite there, but the notes are very interesting for Chanel because I don't know. Let's see. So we get musky notes, we get heliotrope, which I like the heliotrope in this one. It reminds me a lot of Mizia's heliotrope. It also has iris, it has cherry blossoms in it as well. So it's following the trend of cherry and cherry blossoms. I never thought there would be a day that we said this for Chanel, that they followed the trends, because they're typically the trend setter. They're usually the ones that march to the beat of their own drum, essentially, and they kind of just followed the trends here. And did it pay off? Not so much, in my opinion, and I'll tell you here why. So, the fragrance starts off very aldehydic, and that's to be expected. It is Chanel. I think we're all expecting the aldehyde baseline for the fragrance to be there. That's okay. That gives it a very soapy, clean aldehyde note opening the fragrance. Then we start to get into the musky notes. The musky notes are good. They start, to sparkle, which is what Chanel's known for, those sparkly, musky notes and those soapy aldehydics mixing together, creating that Chanel signature that we're all so, in love with, essentially. Then we get the heliotrope. It's still good. And then we get the iris. And the iris in here is very, I don't want to say it's synthetic, but it's very distilled. It's very sharp. It doesn't smell super refined. It kind of smells like a bathroom product. Then we get the cherry blossoms, which is very shampoo vibes. Now, typically this wouldn't be a problem. The problem starts for this fragrance is we already have a soapy product that's synthetic in this fragrance, which is aldehydes. Then you're adding another kind of shampooy type of synthetic-y type of smell, which is the cherry blossoms. Put those two together, we're getting baby shampoo. It's not a bad smell. I think it smells good, or it even smells like, does anyone straighten their hair? And there's those straighteners, those straightener protectors, the sprays that you spray onto your hair, and then you go in with the, straightening wand. What is it called? Heat protector vibe. So I don't know. It's very different for Chanel. Now, I do think that this fragrance will be popular because it is more youthful. It is a little bit more casual, a little bit more easygoing, but it's not necessarily a natural youthful vibe that this fragrance is giving, because it does have that Chanel DNA in the background. It's kind of giving that person that is a little older but is clinging on to the youth, essentially. And I don't know. It's a little disappointing because I had high hopes for this fragrance. I was also on the fence because of cherry blossom, but I thought out of anyone, Chanel can work with synthetic notes because that's what they're known for. They're one of the first actual fragrance houses to start off with synthetic components and to really revolutionize that industry. And I thought, if anyone can do it, it is Chanel. And I thought in my head, they're going to do it very, very well. It's not a bad scent, like I'm saying. It smells very, very good. It's very likable. It's very easy to wear. It is very ready for the summertime, but the problem is here, the price point. I will pay for like Sycamore. I will pay for Coromandel. I will pay for 31 Rue Cambon. I will pay for Jersey, those price points, because they are so different. They're so artsy. They're groundbreaking fragrances. This one here, because it does fall into that mainstream, it doesn't even feel like it would land very good in the traditional mainstream line of fragrances for Chanel. Because of that itself, I'm like, where are you getting the justification to charge this much for this fragrance? Will it sell a lot? Yes. Why? Because it's Chanel and because there's hype behind it. Do I think it's worth it? No, not in my opinion. Now, here's another thing too that I was very, very much shocked about, and I was a little taken aback and disappointed, because obviously this is launch edition essentially. So typically what perfume houses do is they launch with the most potent actual juice ever, and then they start to water it down as time progresses, and they call it reformulations, which they do reformulate them, but a lot of the times it's just to obviously make it a little bit more watered down. This fragrance is kind of bipolar. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to be inside in an office and you spray it on yourself, it'll last you 2 to 3 hours. And if you decide to wear it outside, just take into consideration that this fragrance will die out after the hour mark. It's kind of appalling, really, but it is what it is. I'm very, very much disappointed. I had high hopes for it. I think it's a nice scent. I don't think it's worth the price point. If they were charging 150, 170 for this fragrance, or if it was launched under the Lazo range, which is their eau de toilettes that are a little bit lighter, it would make sense. It would be a perfect fragrance for that range. But for the Les Exclusives range, it just doesn't fit in. Not only does it not fit in, I mean, I'm all for adding something that adds youth to the actual fragrance. There's no nuances to this fragrance. And what I mean by that, it does change from beginning to end to middle, but that's it. There's no hidden little thing here that you're like, oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's Chanel. Oh, it does this, it does that. It's just kind of what you smell is kind of what you get type of thing. There's no changes to it, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. So I don't know. What do you guys think about Comète? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know if this is a fragrance that you're interested in. By the way, I did purchase this from a direct seller. I will put her information down below if you're wanting to save some money on buying these type of fragrances. Just note that she obviously can't get everything all at once, but she will definitely try. So I will list her down below, like I said. So don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe, you guys, for more fragrance related content. Until next time, take care. Bye.